we go back to Morrighan, where we continue on with the MSQ for now. Alright, we're finally at the point where this gear is going to be better. Perfect. Confound it. Confound it. Could we but enlist the aid of one of the local Mughals? I am certain Hrace Veilguard would not elude us for long. The eye enables me to sense the presence of dragons. I can only identify Nidhogg's with any certainty. We could wander the mists for days, and not know if we were any closer to finding his brood brother. And those are days we cannot well afford to squander. Shall we divide our forces, then? Lady Azale, might I ask you to question any dragons whom you judge it safe to approach? I shall try, yet I fear the influence of Nidhogg's rage will render most of the Javanians in the area deaf to reason. And what of you, Master Ralphino? I have not yet given up on the Mughals. Morrighan, come with me to Gridania. I mean to petition the aid of the Mughals' kin in the Twelveswood. After that business with Moggelmog, I dare say they will be glad to help us. Assuming you have no need of me, I shall remain here. Nidhogg senses both the loss of his consort and the coming of the Eye, and his attention is firmly fixed in this direction. I mean to do what I can to hold his gaze, in the hope that it might delay any action against Ishgard. Thank you, Estinian. Come then, Morrighan, let us make haste for Gridania and rendezvous at Nofika's altar. Ah, but I neglected to tell you. There is an aetherite of ancient construction here which would make the return journey rather less arduous. Pray do not forget to use it. Already did, buddy. Already did. But we're going back to Gridania where we were before. We could have done, like, overlapped them a little bit if I would have been thinking, but I was not thinking. So back to Gridania. Because that would have been too easy. Especially since we're once again going to pretty much the exact same place. I sent word to the Elder Seedseer upon arriving in Gridania, and I am pleased to report that she has agreed to grant us an audience. If anyone can help us to contact the Twelveswoods Mughals, it is she. We are expected at the Lotus Den. I trust you are familiar with the conjurer stationed at its entrance. Yeah, the silent one? The Elder Seedseer awaits you. Pray, follow me. And follow you I shall. I bid you welcome, friends. The Admiral spoke of having met with you, but 'tis no less of a relief to see you safe and hale with mine own eyes. We humbly thank you for agreeing to receive us upon such short notice, my lady, and for all you have done for us in our absence. Would that if were solely to express our gratitude that we came to you this day. Alas, the tides of battle yet dictate our comings and goings. Elder Seedseer, we would beg your wisdom in a matter that may finally bring an end to the Dragonsong War. Speak on, friend. Well, let me tell you the story. We believe that we may be able to bring peace with the help of Vizael. I see. So you seek a means to contact these Mughals at the Churning Mists. Kupopopo! I say Kupo! Greetings, Kuplokop. To what do we owe the pleasure of your company? I was struck by the sudden urge to bring you some fruit, Connie, and I'm jolly glad I did. Tell me more about these Mughals in the sky, Kupo. I will gladly tell you all I know, though it amounts to precious little. We encountered a Mughal high in the clouds of Javonia, and had hoped that you and your kin in the Twelveswood might agree to facilitate a meeting. Pray correct me if I am mistaken, Kuplo, but there are legends, are there not, which speaks of Mughals who dwelled beyond the clouds? Indeed there are, Kupo. Long, long ago, back when the world was still young, they say my ancestors served the gods up in the heavens. Of course, that was before their masters took to bickering like spoiled children. Ah yes, the tale of good King Mogomog XII. He is revered for holding fast to a rope of miraculous length, that his subjects might climb down from the sky and escape to the world below. Ignoring the more fanciful aspects of the tale, it may well be that Kuplo's ancestors hailed from the Churning Mists. Given how long his kin have resided in the Twelveswoods, it is perfectly possible that the details of their history have faded into myth. Indeed, Master Alphino, such stories oft contain a measure of truth. 'Tis like that the Mughals of the Churning Mists tell similar tales of the world below. I can well imagine why the one you encountered fled at your approach. Oh, fleeing's second nature to us. We often hide when the larger races come trampling through the forest. Of course, where there's one Mughal, there's bound to be more. Which is why I've decided to take a trip to the clouds, Kupo. They surely won't be afraid to talk to me. I was hoping you might say that, Master Kuplo. You will accompany us, then? Just you try and stop me, Kupo. I'll admit, the thought of venturing outside the Twelveswoods is a bit unsettling. But I can hardly refuse a chance to meet my distant cousins. If you will have me, I too will accompany you on this venture, and lend my voice to your cause as an ambassador of Gridania. My lady, are you quite certain? How oft has our nation turned to the scions of the Seventh Dawn in its hour of need? How oft have we asked the Warrior of Light to risk her life to save our own? Full many times I say to you, and never have they refused us. Thus do I choose this day to offer mine aid to our allies for the good of the realm. Is this not just? A most unexpected and most welcome offer, Elder Seedseer. We would be honored by your presence. Really, what this is she just wants to get out of town. Alfino! Pray return to the summit and inform our companions of these developments. I will serve as the Elder Seedseer's guide on the journey back to Samal. It being a path I have already trodden, I do not anticipate any great difficulties. Besides, we shall have the Elder Seedseer's personal guard to escort us. Alright then, let's speak with Estinian at Morrighan. What do you got for me, Stinian? 720! 540. With a revert. Well met, Warrior of Light. Nidhogg has not stirred, but he watches us, unblinking. The Elder Seedseer herself answers your call. Then there is naught to do but wait. They are here, Morrighan. Greetings, my friends. I am happy to report that our journey was mercifully uneventful. Devoid as the road was of Javanians, 'twould seem the dragons have abandoned Samal for the Churning Mists. Elder Seedseer, may I present to you Ser Estinian, Ishgard's Azure Dragoon. 'Tis an honor to meet you, Ser Estinian. I have heard many tales of your order's extraordinary skill and courage. Friends, I feel it only right to inform you that we are not alone. The Moogles are all around us even as we speak, and I should imagine they are more than a little concerned by the horde of strangers that have descended upon their home. Mayhap now would be an opportune moment to introduce ourselves. This should serve. They're hiding, of course, but there are so many of them, Kupo. I am Connie Cinna. My companions and I have braved the long road from the Twelveswoods to share word with you. On this, the occasion of our first meeting, we bring an offering of light and wind. Mogs are so adorable. Oh, such a gentle and pleasing glow, Kupo. I don't think I want to have his voice that low. I am Morrighan, the chieftain of this Moogle clan. Chieftain Morrighan, it is an honor to meet you. Greetings! I am Kuplokop, ambassador of the Twelveswood Moogles. A Moogle from the world below. Your hide is of a different hue, but that palm is unmistakable. I might need a moment here, Kupo. My companions were no less surprised to learn of your existence here amongst the clouds. I hope they did not startle you overmuch in their eagerness to make your acquaintance. Full well I can imagine your wariness. I am told that men have not walked here in nigh on 1,000 winters. Mayhap you will forgive them their forwardness when I unfold to you the grave matter which first brought them into your midst. My companions crave an audience with the great worm Hrace Veilgar, that they might negotiate an end to the war twixt man and dragon. An end to the war, you say? I trust you, Connie Cinna. The light of peace shines brightly within your soul. But I'm afraid that the same cannot be said of your friends. To be plain, We did not hide ourselves because they were the first of your kind to be seen here in 1,000 years. Well, not only because of that. We hid because we have smelled dragon blood. These skies are home to many, many dragons. While some crave peace, such as Horace Veilgar, many others crave the opposite, such as Nidhogg. Suffice it to say, we are worried that the presence of your blood-splattered warrior friends will attract the attention of the nastier kind, and invite destruction into our happy home. Now, just a moment, Chieftain. Morrighan here may have doled out the odd thrashing or two, but it's always been for a really good reason. She is a champion of the Twelveswood Moogles, and I'll not hear her good name slandered. Now, Ambassador, let's not ruffle each other's fur. I shall, of course, take your testimony into consideration. If I may, Chieftain, there is little room for trust twixt strangers. Might we not take this opportunity to learn more of each other? An excellent suggestion, Kupo. In the interest of fostering friendships and keeping an eye on you, I extend to you the hospitality of Morrighan. Prove yourselves worthy of our assistance, and it will be yours. I shall be watching, Kupo. Okay. Alright, friends, let's set out to do good work here. Tell me, in the world down below, do all of your kind look so different from one another? It must be terribly disconcerting. What was it Kublokop called you again? Morrighan. Your names are as odd as your appearance. Have you ever considered a nice Moogle name? Moglin is taken, by the way, Kupo. We are Morrighan, as are Morrighan, Mogmug, and Mogwin. These being the names of the 3 wise Moogles who will administer the momentous challenges that I have devised to measure your worth. I call them the Trials of Trustworthiness. Undertake these trials, and we shall soon see whether or not you are worthy of our aid. Alright, well, I'll take the Titanium Bastard Sword. Let's place that in the armory chest. And it doesn't say it's better, but it is. That's because I picked the... Oh, snap. Whoops. Well, let me switch to Paladins. Let's see if it says it's better for the Paladin. It does. Alright. I was like, why is it showing it on my hip? It's because I chose the wrong weapon. Dang it. Well, we might as well get the kite shield from this one, so we can have better stuff for the Paladin. Hello! Yes, I am Morrighan, the foremost alchemist in Morrighan, if you must know. If your tummy's gloopy or your wings are droopy, I've a potion to fix that. Or I would if I didn't keep running out of ingredients. Luckily, you're here to do my trial. Yes, go forth, mighty adventurer, and mightily pluck 3 sprigs of cloud's breath for me. You'll find it blooming near the entrance to Isle Tall. It's not the safest of places, so don't let yourself be too distracted by the pretty flowers, Kupo. Let's pick up all 3 of these before we go anywhere. Yes, you have the pleasure of speaking with Mogmug. I know, I am the fluffiest, most enchanting creature you have ever laid eyes upon, Kupo. It ain't easy being this adorable. I can barely take a stroll outside without those relentless Dravanians throwing themselves at me. Why, They look as if they might just gobble me right up. In any case, fleeing their overbearing adulation is growing a bit tiresome. Your trial, madam, is this. Find those ardent archaeosaurs and slap them some manners into them, Kupo. Perhaps a firm smack on the snout will teach them to appreciate my charm from afar. Mogwin's the name and art is my game. When it comes to painting, there are none in Mogholm who can match my talent with a brush, Kupo. I know why you have come. Chief Tane Moglin has demanded that I test your trustworthiness. But as I trust no one to create art that will satisfy me, I instead charge you with retrieving a masterpiece I seem to have misplaced. It was an ambitious and innovative work, guaranteed to fetch at least 4 Kupo nuts on the open market. You must find it. Question the masses. Surely a pebble painted with such vibrant colors and unmistakable panache cannot have escaped the notice of every Moogle in Mogholm. Alright. Question Mogholm's inhabitants. Mogwin is missing his masterpiece, Kupo? Oh, you mean that painted smeared mess of a pebble? I've not seen it recently, a fact for which my eyes are proudly grateful. Profoundly grateful. Maestro Mogwin has misplaced his masterpiece, Kupo. Oh, happy day. If I am the swifter in finding it, I will soon have a genuine Mogwin for the price of a little perspiration. Honestly, who has 4 Kupo nuts just laying about to spend on such luxuries? Me and this person are doing the same quest. I don't know much about his stone, but I do know Mogwin's been creeping out the back way to Sawmall's summit from time to time. Maybe he left it up there. Back to Mogwin. Well, what did you find out, Kupo? Yes, now that you mention it, I do seem to recall leaving my pebble out in the sun to dry. The second part of your trial commences. Go, adventurer, and retrieve my masterpiece from some art-starved admirer swiping the stone for himself. Alrighty then. We shall be on our way. Interact with the summoning stone. Now, if I remember what the Cloud's Breath like, it's funky, and there's like one like way the hell up here. I discovered a new location. Heck yeah. Defeat Archaeosaurs. Oh, there's 4 of them. Oh, it's because I'm helping What's-Their-Bucket do it. Let me turn my stance on to make sure that they don't get hurt. I got you, Oxy, don't worry. There's 2 of the trials complete. Indeed. Alright, I'll accept their friend request. Why not? Oh, they got it. Okay. Perfect. Making friends all the time. Do they have a free company that they're a part of? They do. The Pride Collective. You were able to humble my Dravanian devotees? Wonderful. You are as capable as I am captivating, Kupo. Still, my precious perfection does not excuse those louts from pursuing me so mercilessly, their tongues lolling and bellies rumbling. The Dravanians and their ilk have much to learn about acceptable acts of admiration. We'll take the Savage Might materia. Ugh. Did you have any trouble finding Cloud's Breath? I do need it quite urgently, you know. Oh yes, these are perfect, Kupo. Now I have the main ingredient for my palm tonic. Speaking of which, how are you feeling, miss? Should you ever feel your palm losing its bounce, then I am your Moogle. I will take the shield. Place it in the armory chest. We'll switch over to Paladin real quick. Is that shield not better? Strength 16, determination, vitality. Oh, this one has a better vitality rating, but this one's got better block. We're gonna equip this one. Back to dark. Now we go up the backside. Because we have to obtain the Moogle Masterpiece. Wait. It is up here, right? Like, I'm not... Yeah, because they said something about the back way to the Samal Summit. Painted stone. And now we deliver it. By dropping down here. There we go. Took a lot of damage. We're fine. We're fine. Do you have it, Kupo? Is my masterpiece safe? Yes, this is my work. Is it not exquisite?
I call it Contemplations of Zenith. Thank you, madam. At last I can exchange my art for those delectable Kupo nuts. Chieftain Maga will hear of this valorous deed.
You have completed the trials of trustworthiness. Return to what's his bucket. Let's also pick up this blue quest because it's going to be an ether current.
Have you ever bathed in the waters to the northeast? Of course not, because a gang of burly Hropkins has been attacking any who goes near them, Kupo. If you were kind enough to slay a few, that might scare them away, giving me time for a dip in the waters.
Morrighan, if that is what you insist on calling yourself, you have completed the trials of trustworthiness administered by the taskmasters Morrighan, Mogmug, and Mogwin. During these grueling tests of character, I closely observed your conduct, as well as that of your companions. And I am decided, Kupo. Gather your friends before me now, so that I need not repeat myself needlessly. Alright, we gotta speak with all our friends.
Bam, 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 bam. Are these trials over, then? My tasks have been little more than household chores. If our hosts elect not to grant their aid after working us like packed chocobos, I shall demand compensation in Kupo nuts out of principle, but I hope it will not come to that. Let us hear the chieftain's verdict, shall we? Standing here in Mogholm, my thoughts turn inevitably to the legend of good King Mogomog XII and his seat in the heavens. Like most, I thought it no more than a myth, a story for younglings that grew with the feeling. But with every passing moment, I become more certain that we have discovered the origin of the tale. Full eager am I to hear what the chieftain has to say.
I will agree with that statement. How go your trials, warrior of light? I myself have been sent on a number of expeditions to chastise the local dragon population. Did not their chieftain wish to avoid inflaming the Dravanians? Such contradictions aside, our host seemed enhanced by the height of my leap. They compared me to Mog, a lance-wielding Moogle, warrior of Eld, who also favored such attacks. 'Twas meant as a compliment, I expect, but I doubt those furry lumps could outleap a caracal lamb, much less a dragoon. Conclude your business here swiftly, Morrighan. I like not this place.
We've become such friends, Kupo. My Moogle cousins love to sing and dance as much as I do. Chieftain Moglin has finally come to a decision, has he? Well, I suppose I'd better flutter over and see him then. What sorcery is this, that my heart should steer at mere fluffiness? Morrighan, I was... No matter. What is it? Chieftain Moglin has made his decision. Well, let us not keep him waiting then. Bum bum ba ba da ba dum bum ba ba da ba ba da 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 da.
Never have I seen such determined workers, Kupo. It would have taken us moons to complete all these dreary chores and, errands.
And have our labors proven the purity of our intentions, chieftain?
Without a doubt. In fact, there was never really all that much doubt to begin with. You were, after all, already friends with a fellow Moogle. But, you see, before any meeting with Horace Veilgar could take place, certain preparations needed to be made. And what better way to help you pass the time than by having you perform all the tiresome tasks that no one ever wants to do, Kupo? Oh dear, the horn! Bring out the horn, quickly now! We blow on this wondrous instrument whenever we wish to speak with the Great Worm, Kupo. We haven't perhaps been treating it with the care it deserves of late. And I think Morrighan may have sat on it.
So we needed some time for cleaning and polishing.
And straightening.
No lasting harm done, though. Now, you need simply head to Zenith, the worm's dwelling to the west, and give the horn a good toot. We are in your debt, chieftain. Thanks to your noble gift, we shall finally have a chance to plead our case to Hrace Veilgar.
Very possibly, yes, but I wouldn't get my hopes up too high, Kupo. The old worm isn't terribly fond of,
Your concern is appreciated, but I am quite certain that Hrace Veilgar will welcome our overtures.
Should we ever arrive at his lair, come, we have squandered enough time already.
Chieftain Morrighan, we thank you for your gracious hospitality. Though we must soon take our leave, I pray that we may continue to nurture the shoots of this new-sprung friendship twixt earth and sky.
Of course, Kupo. Visit us whenever you wish. Consider Morrighan your home amongst the clouds. Well, thank you for that, Morrighan. Or Morrighan? Yeah, whatever your name was, I forgot it already. I apologize.
Thanks for the help, Kupo. I doubt I would have ever found time for all those rotten chores.
Hey, it wasn't my idea. If the chieftain had spent a little less time sitting about and a little more time entertaining, or chieftaining, things would have never gotten so messy in the first place. And he was the one who sat on the horn, by the way. But now all the errands are done and the horn is fixed, so all's well that ends well, eh, Kupo? Well, I expect you're eager to be on your way. Did I mention your friend was looking for you, Kupo? If not, Alphino is looking for you. I'll be waiting just outside, stretching my wings. Let me know when you're ready to depart. To the best of my knowledge, we have all that we need for our trip to Zenith, and I believe the Elder Seedseer and her retinue will soon be making their journey back to Gridania. It would be remiss of us, I think, not to convey our gratitude to them prior to going our separate ways. Shall we?
Alphino, Morrighan, I do humbly thank you for what has been a most enlightening experience. Were it not for your pioneering spirit, the existence of those Muggles might never have been revealed to us. 'Tis we who should be thankful, Elder Seedseer. Were it not for your timely diplomacy, they would never have chosen to reveal themselves at all. And 'twas your presence, Kuplokop, that ultimately won us their trust. It must have taken great courage to leave the sanctuary of the Twelveswood, and we are exceedingly glad that you did. It was my pleasure, Kupo. I've made so many new friends, and have so many fantastic tales to tell to my kinsmuggles back home. And it is our home that we must now return. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal, my friends. Safe journey, Elder Seedseer. We too must be on our way. Hrace Veilgar awaits. Warrior of Light, pray attend closely to your companion, Sir Estinian. Beneath that stoical facade, a storm of anguish seethes unseen. Have you said your goodbyes and dabbed away your tears, Kupo? Then we are indeed ready to go.
Dang, direct hit rate jumps up a ton. But tenacity is lower. That's fine.
As Chieftain Morrighan already explained, the shiny instrument we gave you is the best means of grabbing Horace Veilger's attention. I'll come along and show you the way to Zenith. That's the big palace where you need to blow the horn. First things first, though, we need to make for Asa. Oh, and watch out for rampaging dragons. Maybe that should have been the first thing, Kupo.
Let's see what Mogzi has for us. Probably something related to an ether current, yep.
You aren't thinking of heading towards Asa, are you? Best watch yourself if you are. Archaeosaurs stalk the road looking for an easy meal. If only someone could drive them away, Kupo. Oh, you seem the type for dragon hunting. Why don't you slay 3 of the Archaeosaurs and open the road back up for Moogle traffic? Once the deed is done, let Mogmont and Asa know.
We need to go this way first. I have a +1 on my poison. Oh no!
Don't poison me. That would be bad, Kupo.
Oh, come on, come on. I should summon my Chocobo to help me. That would make doing this easier. And probably safer. You know, less likely to die. Alright, and we can clean up the Archaeosaurs right here too. How many Archaeosaurs do we need? 3? Tag that one. Bring him over here. Because I don't want to aggro the Haropkins. Mostly just because I don't want to have to deal with them. Alright. Let's go back to Morrighan then. Oh, what? I didn't realize there was one still fighting me. Third leg forward sounds a little awkward for the name of an attack. I don't know if they thought that one through.
Many thanks, brave adventurer. Finally, I can enjoy a bath without the smell of raw dragonfish assaulting my senses. Oh, say a dip in the waters might serve to freshen you up as well.
Alright, I have to go pee again, so we'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. Can I just drive up this? Nope. 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 Ugh. Wasted more time trying it than it would have been if I would have just done it. I should be checking this. 420 alms to the northwest. Alright. Defeat enemies on the path to Asa. That's what we're doing. It is what we are doing. $369 yalms to the north. We're gonna keep going north real quick. Because we're like right here. Wait, what? See if I see them coming back this way. Where? It's gonna be farther this way still. That was a lot more enemies than I was expecting. Talking with my new friend. Sorry. I realized that I did not say any of that stuff out loud. They don't use their chocobo much, so I'm trying to get them to use their chocobo more. And I told them if they ever see me running around on Aerolith to add her as well, because she is my main that I usually play. Is that someone from below? How did you get past the Archaeosaurs? Interesting, or something. Oh shit! What? Mogsy asked you to slay them for him? It's just like him to depend on the kindness of strangers. We've barely been able to venture outside of Asa for fear of being attacked. Now, thanks to you, the roads are just a little safer, Kupo. Oh hey, and there's our ether current. Things were a bit bitey for a while there, but I think we've arrived in one piece, Kupo. I wonder what has the dragon so awfully snappy. I mean, the bad ones are always bad, but they seem worse than usual. Yeah, let's pick up the Mail of Fending. We may have a small problem, Kupo. When the winds are high like this, Horace Veilgar invariably abandons his lofty perch and heads to the lands below to hunt. If you tried blowing the horn now, I doubt he'd hear it. I suggest we stop at the clearing up ahead and rest until the wind dies down. Bum ba ba da da da. Bum ba ba da 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 da. 612 yalms to the west still, huh? I don't want to fight the lower Sky Lord. It might be because I still have my stance on. Shit. Ignore me! Creatures. Well, wrong person.
This should do nicely, Kupo. The winds will likely have died down by tomorrow, but until then, we might as well make ourselves comfortable. If we must interrupt our journey so close to its end, I suppose this place is as good as any. And mayhap a brief respite from the hardships of the road will help to clear any minds in readiness for the coming parley. Very well, then. I believe a campfire is in order. Leave the gathering of fuel to me. I acquired a keen nose for firewood during my time in the frozen wastes of Kurthus.
Clear our minds. 'Tis Master Alphino whose mind needs clearing. The thought of meeting a great worm in the flesh has befuddled the boy. Did you see him stroll away as if these ruins were not crawling with deadly beasts? Follow him, Morrighan, and see that the wildlife does not make a meal of our young friend. We will have camp ready by the time you return. I will have angered that thing. Defeat monsters to the east of Alphino's location. Now we have to go defeat monsters to the west. Of course, I accidentally tagged that thing. There we go. Now we go back and speak with Astinian. See, I was right to worry about the boy's safety. Once Alphino returns with the wood, we can see about supper. The Ice Queen has filled a pot with what look like stew ingredients ready for the fire. And we got like a nice little table, and he's sitting on sacks of whatever. That's amazing. Ah,
Few things compare to the simple pleasure of sitting beside a crackling campfire of one's own making.
Ha! So speaks the great explorer. Until recently, you wouldn't have recognized firewood if it came from with kindling in a flint.
'Tis well you instructed me so patiently then. But yes, left to my own devices, I would have been compelled to signal to Yazael with a pile of damp leaves. I was born the pampered son of a Charlian dignitary, and alongside my twin, became the youngest student ever to be accepted into the studium. How proud I was to match wits with scholars and philosophers, how ignorant of mine own shortcomings. That hubris invited manipulation and betrayal, and led to the downfall of the Scions. We all of us are guilty of similar ignorance. How many men lay down their lives never knowing what it is that they fight for, never questioning that which they have been taught to believe. 'Twas only upon meeting Horace Vaelgar that I learned the truth hidden within our history. Were it not for that chance encounter, I would never have vowed to tear down the Holy See and expunge the falsehoods with which it fans the flames of conflict. I would have lived and died in ignorance. That the truth has driven me to do terrible things I cannot deny, but I would rather sin in the pursuit of peace than imagine myself virtuous for perpetuating a needless war. If this journey has taught me anything, it is the importance and difficulty of holding to one's convictions in the face of failure, of striving always to replace one's ignorance with knowledge. You are well on your way, Master Alphino. At your age, I was but a fool swinging a spear, with scarcely a thought in my head. Even now, I struggle to acknowledge the misconceptions under which I have labored. Sitting here amongst these grand ruins, how can I deny that man and dragon once lived in peace? But for all that such an age existed, we are now in a time of war. Nidhogg killed my family, and no quirk of history will exonerate him. I may be ignorant of how the Dragonsong War began, but if we do not put an end to this conflict now, I could say for certainty that it will only breed more vengeful souls such as mine. In my hands resides the power to vanquish a great worm. If Ishgard's survival rests on me wielding that power, I will slay Nidhogg myself, orders or no. Estinian, you gave your word. My word is contingent upon the success of our parley. Show me the strength of your convictions, Lady Iceheart. Convince Horace Vaelgar of the righteousness of your cause. Does seem only fair. Doubt not, but that I shall, Dragoon. Well, when's willing, we shall have our answers on the morrow. Let us sleep now and face our fate with the rising of the sun. Alright, any of these something that I can wear? Aiming, healing, casting? Nope. Bam, bam, bam. But these ones I can. I got to accept the quest. What am I doing? The campfire was so cozy. I must have fallen asleep, Kupo. But do you feel how the winds have shifted? They will have borne Horace Vaelgar back to the skies above Zenith, I'm sure of it. This is your chance to climb to the highest floor of the palace and summon him with a toot on that shiny horn. So, I'll be heading back now, if it's all the same to you. Good luck, Kupo. It was nice knowing you. Have you delivered us to our death?
That's not very reassuring. Why did I do that? To the summoning stone. I actually probably could have just ran over here. And that probably would have been the better choice. But we got the attunement. 201 yalms to the west. I think it's on that platform there. Bum bum ba-dum. Ba-na-na-na-na-da-da-dum. Nope. Is it above me? It's gotta be above me. Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta be above me. Oh, come on. Bum bum bum. Do 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 do. Yeah, I think it's at the very top of this actually. Yep, there it is. And then I think this is the last one. Yep. So the rest of them are all from quests. Let's meet with Heavensward. Mortals, why do you disturb my solitude? I don't like the way these dragons talk. I really don't. I guess what I should do though is...
Heavensward.
Because it's a voiced cutscene, we'll go like that. Thou speakest the name of a creature that but awaiteth the release of oblivion. Leave me.
By the 12. Mine ears hear the tongue of dragons, yet the meaning rings clear within my mind. How can that be?
Heavensward, do you not remember me? 'Twas I whom you found in Dravania. I who glimpsed the truth. The truth about your past. About Shiva.
Do not speak her name, mortal.
But speak it I must. I have summoned Shiva's soul from the beyond and offered myself as her vessel. She has made her heart known to me.
Foolish girl, thinkest thou my beloved spirit hath descended from the heavens? That the secrets of her heart are thine to know?
I have surrendered mine to her. Do you not see, my love? I am Shiva reborn.
Well... Gullible fool. The light but illuminated the past for thee. It did not grant thee omniscience. Thou spirit hast summoned belongeth not to Shiva. 'Tis but a shade conjured by thy own fancy. In an age long past, mine own kin were guilty of like folly. Beguiled by the Dark One's lies, they attempted to resurrect a king amongst worms. Yet the divinity they called forth merely borrowed the semblance of my fallen brood brother. Talking to Bahamut, by the way. Such gods are not summoned, but created. Phantoms spun from the threads of misplaced faith.
Then the spirit that answered me
Was but thy dream of Shiva. Thy soul hath been corrupted by a deity of thine own making, child.
Be that as it may, Lord Hraesvelga, Izel's desire to heal the rift between man and dragon is real, and it has borne us this far. We would spare both our kind and yours the ravages of this senseless war. Pray join your voice to ours in a call for peace and forgiveness.
The tale of thy kind is one of avarice, treachery, and death. And thou wouldest speak to me of peace. Hark thee, mortal, to the naked truth, then tell me thou deservest forgiveness. "1,200 years ago, my beloved Shiva's sacrifice served to bring an end to the war twixt man and dragon, paving the way for an age of peace and cooperation. 2 centuries of harmony were to follow, during which time the Elezen learned much about us, not least that the eyes of a great worm are the wellspring of his strength. 'Twas out of the selfish desire to possess this strength that King Thordan then conspired to undo all that our people had achieved together. With the aid of his leal knights, that most noble of Elezen lured my brood sister Ratatsker into an ambush, and took from her that which he craved. Fain would I strike the image from my mind, yet still the scene doth linger, of my brood sister's tattered corpse, defiled by her Elezen allies. They had torn out her eyes, and feasted upon them in the manner of wild beasts. Yet that was not all. For from their bloody banquet, the fiends had gained strength beyond that of mortal men. Even now, I labor to comprehend the enormity of their betrayal. Nidhogg was the first to learn of the atrocity, and he took to the skies, hungry for vengeance. But though he slew Thordan and some few of his knights, their fellow butchers knew only too well where to aim their spears, and with now practiced savagery, They set about my brood brother, sending him flailing from the field. Such is the truth the Holy See would keep hidden. Such was the beginning of the Dragon Song War. 'Tis a song my kind shall never forget. Even then, even should 10,000 years pass and Ishgard crumble into dust.
Your tale bears scant resemblance to the one I was taught. How convenient that it should absolve your kind of all responsibility. But tell me, Dragon, why should I believe your version of events?
What thou choosest to believe is immaterial. The betrayal that yet haunts mine every waking moment is no less than the truth to my kind. And Nidhogg meaneth for Thordan's people to suffer for this sin till the end of days. That which thou imaginest a war of extinction is but a punishment, a siege of the spirit. Hast thou not seen those who tire of the torment, those who abandon their own and side with dragonkind?
Ishgard's so-called heretics.
Know that all the traitor's progeny bear a trace of Ratoxker's essence, but a single sip of our blood is enough to awaken it.
Then, the seed lies within us.
'Tis for this reason that those who abandon their loyalties are rewarded with a drink, and thus are they transformed to join the ranks of Nidhogg's ever-growing army as newborn dragons. One by one, through death or defection, my brood brother shall account for all of the betrayer's children.
Ye gods, I have borne witness to such a transformation. Looked on as a heretic assumed the shape of a dragon. I imagined it some manner of Dravanian enchantment. But if any Ishgardian, regardless of allegiance, has such potential within them, 12 forgive us. To think of all the dragons we've slain!
Quite the revelation. There will always be some, of course, who choose to fight until the bitter end, like thee, Dragoon. But struggle as thou might, thy youthful vigor will be spent ere thou reachest 210. And Nidhogg shall remain to torment thine offspring.
Oft have I wondered why Nidhogg did not simply raze Ishgard to the ground. Now I have my answer. He has no intention of winning the Dragonsong War, for it is no war at all, but vengeance, an eternal requiem sung for his murdered sister.
Thou hast the right of it, Dragon Slayer. Comprehendest thou now the futility of thy quest?
I have not come this far only to admit defeat. We can still return the eye to Nidhogg and beg forgiveness for our ancestors' crimes. Mayhap our words will sway him.
Stubborn child, thou thinkest in mortal terms. Our perception of time is too broad for thee to grasp. 'Tis a simple matter for thee to offer thine apologies. Thou didst not perpetuate the crime. Despite thy visions, the deeds of history seem distant to thee. For a worm such as Nidhogg, however, that history is yet part of his present, as fresh as the blood that did gush from Ratoxker's wounds. How could he not be driven mad? 'Tis only by the calming embrace of Shiva's soul that mine own fury hath not consumed me.
But let us speak no more of what is done. My faith in your kind is spent, and I would be alone. Wow. That was quite the cutscene. Horace Veilgar was every bit as awe-inspiring as I imagined. His voice fairly dripped with power, the will behind his words so undeniable that it transcended my ignorance of the dragon's tongue. 'Tis but a pity that I misliked what he said. So far did we travel, even unto the very heavens themselves, only to be dismissed like unruly children. And far from mitigating this humiliation, the hidden truths we have learned serve only to prove that our grand mission of peace was destined to fail from the first. Nothing will deter Nidhogg from his course. Hey, we leveled up.
Well, what do you propose we do now? I, for one, am intent on continuing to the east.
What is there to be found in the east?
Nidhogg's lair, the Eyrie, is said to lie in that direction. And the eye tells me he is near.
You cannot still mean to slay him.
You cannot still mean to stop me. I have been true to my word, and aided you in this fool's errand with Hraesvelgr. But your efforts at parley have come to naught, Lady Iceheart. I would see Ishgard saved, and for that, Nidhogg must die.
With the tale of our ancestors' vile betrayal yet ringing in your ears, you speak of continuing this war?
Nay, lady. I would but pierce its vengeful heart. When Nidhogg dies, this war shall die with him.
Well, is it that simple, Estinian?
A moment, Estinian. You yourself spoke of the Great Worm's strength, that you believed him powerful enough to raise your city to the ground. How then are we few to challenge him? Even behind the stout walls of Ishgard, with an army of knights manning the defenses, our victory would be hard won. Yet you propose to contend with the beast in his own lair.
In close combat, this will afford us an advantage. And if the tales are true, the Warrior of Light has bested many an invincible foe. But such speculation is meaningless if we cannot even find the worm. Our first task must be to seek out Nidhogg's lair.
The story of this nation grows bloodier by the moment. Must death always be answered with more of the same?
It's a good question, Alphino. Can we change the cycle?
Such is the way of things, I fear. I shall consider it a miracle if mine armor is not stained crimson ere this conflict is ended.
That I should be blinded by my own lies. Everything I believed, everything I thought I was, gone. All gone.
Leave her. Your words will not reach her now. And we have not the time to wait for her to gather up the pieces of her shattered faith.
right. With that, though, and the accepting of the new quest, I think we're going to end stream there. So, thank you all for hanging out. I really appreciate it. We'll be back Wednesday with more streaming of something. Probably going to record some Phasmo to go up soon this week, either tomorrow or Thursday. Probably record it tomorrow. Maybe it'll go up on Thursday, because there's a new update out for it. So, thank you all. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you later.